Hello guys and welcome back. In this video, I'm going over step 2 on how to start your short-term rental operation. Now in this video, I'm going to be talking about the market analysis and the proper research you have to do in order to find the perfect cash flowing property for the short-term rental websites. What's going on guys? My name is Robert. I'm a rental arbitrage Airbnb host here in the Midwest. In this video, I'm going over the property finding process and the market analysis that you have to do in order to find the perfect cash flowing property. So once you've complied with the regulations in your local area, once you've figured out all the laws that I've mentioned in step 1, you guys will then be ready to go find a property, or if you guys already own a property, that works just as well. What you'll want to do with a property that you already own, you're gonna go into a software that I like to use called AirDNA, and you're gonna just run an analysis on your property and see the numbers that you're looking at. You have to look at your average daily rate. You have to look at a few factors that will help you price your property to where you're getting the most out of it. Property pricing is really important with this business model. It is what determines if you get booked or not. There's a spectrum of how this works, and the lowest priced property will typically get booked. You can test this out if you guys already have listings out there, or if you get started with your listing, just drop your price really low. You'll see that you'll get booked right off the bat. And of course, you have to price your property higher to make sure you cover all expenses and make sure you're profitable at the end of the month. What I advise is actually going in and trying to strategically price your property and finding the perfect medium of what's going to book you consistently and fill up your occupancy rate. You want to have as high of an occupancy rate as possible. So what you can do, you can look for properties for rent or for sale. You can just be driving down the road and see a property on the market, and that's a potential property for you. What I advise is getting into a software. If you are that kind of person, you want all the information up front before making it a cash investment, you can use a software that I like to use called AirDNA, and I'm going to pull it up real quick and I'll show you guys what I'm talking about here. Okay, so once you log into AirDNA, you have access to this toolbar here on the side, and what I advise you do is go to top properties. This is the most effective way to find a property that is doing well revenue-wise. So go to top properties and enter the city you live in, enter your postal code. This gives you the information on exactly how many properties are in this area. So when I type in this area code in here in Springfield, Missouri, it looks like there's currently 10 properties in this area code. And it gives you their average daily rate and their average annual revenue. This gives you an idea of what these zip codes typically do as far as pricing. I'm going to show you an example here. So right now we're in 65804. So if you go to any different zip code, it'll show you what properties are doing as far as revenue in these different zip codes. So if you want to find one closer to your home, or if you want to find one, depending on what it is, you can do a full in-depth, thorough research. And as you guys see, the prices fluctuate as far as where these properties are located. Obviously, some properties do more than others. And this will just help you determine what exactly you want to move forward with. And as you guys can see, the average is typically around anywhere from 20 to 30,000. Earlier we saw one that was 96,000, which was like a specialty property. But what you can do, just go through and you'll figure out what areas have the best cash flow, and that is a great way to determine your location. And that'll help you selectively choose properties that are going to be in a better location than others. And this will help eliminate a lot of the risk up front. Because if you end up moving with a property that doesn't cash flow right off the bat with short-term rental, you're going to be in a bad situation, especially if you buy the home and especially if you're doing rental arbitrage, because your overhead costs on a month-to-month basis is pretty high. You have rent, utilities, internet, the works. So be sure that the property that you do end up choosing will generate you cash flow and it'll bring you out on top every single month. Another thing I like about AirDNA is that gives you an overview of your local area, and it tells you, depending on the zip code, of what location is ranking the most and what location is doing the most revenue. As you guys can see here, this is the market grade B. They rated it a B, and it obviously won an A. So I ended up going with this zip code in particular in my area. It's rated an A on AirDNA, and that is why I decided to look for properties in that area. This is just something that I've done myself. I'm not telling you guys have to do everything that I did, but I ended up with a really profitable property as my first property, and therefore I advise you guys to look into different ways that you can maximize your potential with this. And with that being said, guys, you guys can check that out. I think it's super helpful for a lot of people. So once you found the property that you're willing to work with and willing to move forward with, you want to schedule a meeting as quickly as possible with whoever is putting that property on the market. So if it's for rent, you want to call whatever phone numbers on that for rent sign, or if it's for sale, you want to call the broker, you want to call whoever just to get in touch with the landlord. And once you do get in contact with a leasing agent or the owner of the home, you want to pitch them and incentivize them to let you use this property. And that is going to be something I'm talking about in the next video. But for this video, you guys pretty much got the gist of it. If you want to do market analysis, you want to find the property in the area that cash flows the highest in your local area, and you could do that with a software called AirDNA. Or there's other softwares out there that you can also look into that could help you. One is called Everbooked. I know there's a few others out there. It's all personal preference, so just go in there, find whatever works. Lastly, you want to set up a meeting as quickly as possible with the landlord or whoever is listing the property on the market. And that is because you don't want anyone else to come in and do this and take it from you. You don't want the opportunity to pass you up. And you want to make sure that you're getting started as quickly as possible with this, because every single day that you're not, you're leaving money on the table, and there's just potential money to be had for the time being. So in the next video, I'm going to go over how you should pitch the landlord and provide value to where they have a reason to let you use their property. That being said, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys all in the next one.